Well, hey, how are you today? What's going on? It's Friday. It's May 8th, 2026. It's about 1:30 in the afternoon. Hope you're having a great day. If this is our first time connecting, hi, I'm Tom Lyon. It's very nice to meet you. I'm really excited about something to show everybody today. It's been a little bit since we've done a live, not necessarily by design, just by circumstance, I suppose. Things have been busy, and busy is good in my world. So I am very much looking forward to doing a quick little live for you. I was trying to think, what am I going to show the people today? And you're going to see me looking over here at my other screen, getting some stuff ready to show you. And we've actually got something super exciting coming up soon. So real quick, if you don't know, I'm the owner of Lion Global. These days, we're a small business consulting agency with a big, strong push to digital marketing. So we do websites and social media ads and Facebook and all that kind of cool stuff. We also have a software that we sell that helps businesses kind of stop paying for a bunch of different subscriptions and manage everything kind of all under one hood. But we have something cool coming up, at least locally in our area. If you are local to where we are, next Thursday and Friday, so I think it's the 14th and the 15th, we are doing a class. One is live, one is virtual. We're doing it on how to use AI in your business, right? And this is designed for small businesses, not multinational conglomerates, but we can help them too. And we're going to talk about different pieces of AI technology, right? Everybody's heard of ChatGPT, fine, cool. Most people at this point have just played around with it. They don't really. Most people don't know really how to use it. And ChatGPT, and that's what most people talk about because that's the first one that really came out into the marketplace, at least on the consumer side. It's the first one that people had a chance to play with and learn about. And for most people, it was terrible. And for some people, it's still pretty terrible. We don't use it often. There are some better platforms that are out there. When we integrated AI into our software, we use a little bit of ChatGPT, but we use some other stuff too. Anyway, so coming up here next Thursday and Friday, we're teaching a course to small business owners in our area. Again, both in person on Thursday and then online on Zoom on Friday, I think it is. I don't know. I don't control my schedule anymore, so I'll have to ask Allie, the assistant. By the way, assistant extraordinaire. If you haven't had a chance to meet her yet, she's fantastic. But we're excited about it, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of the deck for that because it's something that I'm pretty proud of. I wish I could take credit for creating the presentation deck for this, but it was not me. We have a really, really good team at Lion Global. Let's see. There we go. Lion Global. Lion Global. If you're looking on the big wide screen, you'll see my finger pointing at our logo, Lion Global. It's just lionglobal.com. And if you are on a small screen like a phone, now you'll see me pointing to it. Feel free to check us out. There's some free stuff on there. If you are a small business that needs help, let's have a conversation. We'll talk to you for free. And if it makes sense, we'll work together and put something together. But one of the things that I'm going to kind of share with you, and I think that this is absolute genius. I'm going to share my computer screen. So on the slide here, one of the questions that we're going to ask the group is, what is one word that describes how you feel about AI right now? Right? One word. And typically what people will do is they'll say, terrible or scary or what are some other words? The forward thinkers, often say, oh, it's neat. It's it makes things possible, right? But most people end up talking about how they're, a little scared of AI, and not entirely sure, also not entirely sure how it's going to help their business, right? How does this technology help my business? Sure, ChatGPT can write a letter, but what does that do? We got to think outside the box, outside of ChatGPT. In our area where I grew up, and where this presentation is next week, it's a rural area, right? It's an area where the economy is fueled by farming and small town industry. In a lot of these communities, there used to be larger industry here, and then it all went away for a variety of reasons that can be debated and discussed. But it all primarily went away because of the economics. It was easier and more economically sound for most of these business owners to move to areas where the labor was cheaper, to where the supply chain was easier to get things to them. It just made things a little easier to move out. But by moving out of these smaller communities, what ended up happening is you caused kind of an economic divide. But what's neat about that is at the same time, it fueled economic, it fueled entrepreneurial spirit. Right. All right. I don't work for, the man anymore. So I'm going to go out and start my own business. And many people did, and many people failed, which is the story of, starting your own business and being an entrepreneur. But many people did, and many people are also successful. And, one of the limiting factors for people in small towns that try to start their own business is that there's sometimes limiting beliefs, right? Beliefs, personally held beliefs, whether right or wrong, about what's possible and what's not possible and how well somebody's going to do at something and what the market wants. And sometimes those limiting beliefs prevent us from taking steps that we could and should take to make our businesses better. So anyway, that's a little bit about what this course is all about that we're going to be delivering next week. So getting back to the one word thing, people usually say that they're scared, etc. Well, what people used to be scared of, and this is why I just told you about the economics. People used to be afraid of the tractor too. When the concept of the tractor first came out, it was this brand new thing. It was this machine, right? This machine is gonna, take over our jobs, and it's gonna make it so, it's loud, it's noisy, it takes, gas and oil and things to operate. All very true things. But what you saw here, and I think this is on the next slide. Yeah, before the tractor was here, you needed lots of human hands. And then when it did come, people were afraid of it. They didn't want to do it, right? They were worried about losing their job. But then what happened, and all you've got to do to see this is just look around the world, particularly in our region, right? The farmers way back when, I don't know, it was probably the 1800s, 1900s, well before my time. The farmers and landowners who opted to figure it out, instead of being afraid of farm machinery and farm equipment, they said, well, this is the wave of the future. Let me figure it out. Those are the people now that have these massive farm operations that are making the good money, that are passing their farm from generation to generation to generation because of their success. And it's decisions like that, it's bold decisions to actually try the tractor, right? It's bold decisions like that when entrepreneurs make bold decisions and make calculated risks, right? Not knowing what the outcome is, but making a calculated risk, hoping for the best, hopefully having a backup plan too, in case something doesn't work out. But making that, taking that chance, taking that leap, those are the ones that succeeded. Those are the ones with the success, not only financially, but just the success with their business as well, which is, super cool. So I don't want to give away the whole slide deck because, there's some cool things in here, really. But let me sneak ahead a little bit. I'm looking at some slides that I'm willing to show you guys live. This is supposed to be a preview, not the whole course. So let me show you, I'll show you this one. So here's some real business examples of how AI as it exists today can actually help you. And what you're going to see is all of this goes well beyond what you can do with something like ChatGPT or a Gemini, right? There's so many different things out there. But let's say you're a hair salon, right? Well, let me tell you about a pet peeve of mine. And I have stopped going to get haircuts at different places just because of this. Have you ever been somewhere getting a haircut, right? And the phone rings, and because it's such a small shop, the person cutting your hair or taking care of you has to stop taking care of you, and they have to go and answer the phone, or they have to go and deal with somebody at the front desk. It's frustrating for me, right? I don't know if it is for you. Some people don't care. I think there's a lot of people that do care, right? So one of the things that AI can do is it can answer your phone. It can sound just like a real human, not like a robot, and it can book appointments for your clients, whether you're open or whether it's 11:30 at night and someone says, "Oh yeah, I need a haircut." They can call, and they can reach somebody, an AI automated system, and book an appointment. Same thing for an attorney's office, right? Attorneys don't want to take every case, most of them. Full disclosure, I am not an attorney. I tried to do that once, didn't work out very well. If you know, you know. But not every case is going to be taken by attorneys, right? When you call the attorney's office, usually you're not talking to the attorney, you're talking to somebody who's screening you. That's exactly what they're doing. They're screening you, asking you questions about your situation to decide whether or not it's going to be worth their time to take your case. AI can do that. A lot of people think that AI is, especially the phone stuff, is just very simple, question, answer. No, it is now it's 2026 now. The AI can actually think. It can respond in kind. It can come up with the right questions to get the right answers that are necessary. And it can do everything that it needs to do in order to qualify somebody as either a qualified candidate to take their case, or say, nope, you know what, I'm sorry, we can't help you. But please, here are some other resources that could be helpful for you. If you're a car repair shop, not only talking about taking calls to book appointments, but, setting up automation. Somebody came in and then maybe in a few months, it's time for them to get an oil change. Maybe a text message goes out to them, or maybe an automated phone call that's not automated at all. It's automated as far as, yes, it's being triggered, but when somebody answers the phone, it's a two-way conversation. By the way, shameless pitch right here. If you want to try our system that does all of this, there's a really good deal right now at lionglobal.com. Just go to lionglobal.com and look for our Roar system. It is in there. It's the best system on the market. Nothing beats it. So there's the shameless plug in my free live, right? lionglobal.com, either here or over here if you're watching me on your phone. Click the thing, sign up for the thing. It's the best system ever, and we'll personally help you get it set up. But anyway, going back to, NordVPN wants me to sign in. Nope. But going back to the same thing for restaurants, we actually have several restaurant clients where, and it was so funny. Let me tell you about this. So during COVID, actually, let's talk about before COVID, as people say that are old like me. Before COVID, we had a lot of people that were in the restaurant business, and we were really focusing primarily on websites at the time. So a lot of online ordering setups, things like that. And before COVID, a lot of business owners just didn't see the value of having the ability to order online. Like, why would I want that? People can call, they can come in. Cool, bro. Until they can't, because because nobody can come in. Thank you, COVID. But also because whenever somebody would call, y'all are so busy that you can't keep up with the calls. And because you can't keep up with the calls, you keep turning things off and you're missing business, right? In fact, there's a local, I won't name names, but there's a local establishment in my town that has amazing food, by the way. They deliver to us, and we probably have about 8 billion frequent flyer miles with them at this point. But anyway, it's delicious. But there are times when they can't keep up. And when you call them on the phone, literally you get a message that says, you know what, we're not caught up. You cannot place an order right now. Try back later, which I suppose is a good problem to have. There are certainly worse problems to have as a business owner, and that the business consulting side of me, starts thinking about capacity conversations and systems and processes in order to increase your capacity. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about AI, but then during COVID, we were getting so many requests. Hey, I need to be able to have people order online like yesterday because our phones are ringing off the hook and we can't keep up. Yeah. Yeah. And for many of them, we helped them out, but we can only take on so many ourselves. And that was, during COVID. And the AI phone thing really wasn't that big of a deal at that point. But it sure is now a big deal. And if we had the technology with the phone call taking with AI receptionist that we have now, if we had it during COVID, a lot of people would not have lost a lot of money. But anyway, so that's one of the things that it can do is it can take orders for restaurants and answer questions about, hey, what are your specials, take reservations, things like that. So anyway, if you are in the Genesee County area, Genesee County, New York, by the way, wink, wink, a gentle nod to a couple members of our team creating some content. We might have created some content that had some pictures of Genesee County, Michigan. But our QA process has pulled that and we're in the process of fixing it. But, Genesee County, we love you. Brian Cousins and the whole board and team at the Genesee County Chamber of Commerce. We're excited to do these classes with you, for you. I'm super hopeful that we'll be able to help a lot of business owners with some super cool stuff using some of the slides that I just showed you here. Of course, we're going to pitch our super cool service. By the way, again, shameless plug number 2 of probably 3 before we're off this live. Go to lionglobal.com, sign up for our system or for a quick consulting call. Let us see how we can help your business, not just with AI. AI is one thing of many that we do. We would love to help you figure out how to make more money in less time for your business. But we're looking forward to doing these classes. If you are a Genesee County Chamber member, or even if you're not, go to the Genesee County Chamber website. You know where it is. Find it on Facebook and sign up for the classes. They're free of charge for you. And we don't get paid to do them. We're doing them for 2 reasons mainly. Reason number 1 is we genuinely want to help you. What we've found is that when we contribute to the community and help our local friends and neighbors be better at their business and make more money, the area just gets better all around. It just becomes a better place to live and a better things just feel better, right? And sometimes when you're in an area where there's been an economic downturn for so long, having somebody to offer you free help, it's not something to shy away from. So that's reason number 1. Reason number 2, one of my business mentors, Frank, says, and he says this repeatedly, that the best way to convince somebody that you can help them and have them become a customer, the best way you can convince somebody that you can help them is by actually helping them. It's pretty deep, right? So that being said, of course, it's our goal to get some customers out of some of these classes. And what's interesting about it is we've done classes like this for the Wyoming County Chamber of Commerce. Shout out to you guys over there. We've also done it for the Wyoming County Business Center through a fast track and a mentorship and all kinds of other stuff. And we get some of our best clients out of these courses because, when somebody calls us or sees some of this social content online, they really don't get an opportunity to learn a ton from us, which is kind of why I do these lives. But when somebody, when we're in front of somebody for, 45 minutes, hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on what it is, and my handsome self gets to talk. It's not the looks, it's the brains, and probably more so the heart, actually. Is that weird? Inappropriate? I don't know. And I am inappropriate, so be ready for that if you're going to attend one of the classes. But once somebody has an opportunity to learn about me and learn about us, people generally want to keep talking. And we're happy to keep that conversation going, whether it's an engagement that, where we work out some finances on and do a deal, or if it's free, right? We've got a whole bunch of free stuff on our website, as far as guides and tips and tricks and things like that. And I'll tell you what, also, final pitch, and then I'll get out of your hair. A couple of years ago, I wrote this book. It's called The 20/20 Principle, Seeing Success Clearly by this guy down here. That guy right there. I look better there, I think. I don't know. But it's really a decent book talking about, I'll do this for the phone folks. It's really a good book that I wrote. Really just talking about a handful of business principles that we have seen help people before in their business. If you are somebody that wants a free copy of this, I will send out. I'll send out 5 copies of this to the first 5 people that shoot me an email. Shoot me an email directly, thomas@lionglobal.com. That's Thomas with an H, Thomas, Thomas. Can't even spell my own name. Thomas@lionglobal.com. Tell me you want the book. Tell me your address. I don't need your credit card. I don't need anything from you. I will send that to you free of charge. I won't even charge you for shipping. But it's got some good stuff in there. And if you're a small business owner and, maybe you are not interested in some of the larger things we have, let me send you a book. Let me send you a book and check it out. And then maybe if you look at that, maybe you'll be like, hey, this Tom Lyon guy might know something. He might know something. Maybe we should do some more stuff. And usually that's the case, and I hope that's true. All right, I'm going to shut up now. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great weekend ahead. Tonight, my beautiful wife, Claire, and I are going to go to a really neat place near us. It's called the Charcoal Corral. They probably get way too much of our money during the season that they're open, which is like from March to November, I think. But we're going to go eat some food and stay for a drive-in movie or 2. She really wants to see this Devil Wears Prada 2. And I'm kind of interested in the Michael Jackson movie, so we'll see what happens. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want a book,